Spencer, a second consecutive league defeat. How do you try and pick the positives out of this afternoon's performance?
There's a lot to get through on that. That was almost a season in one game in a lot of ways. Certainly the honeymoon period's totally over. The simple facts were we were nowhere near good enough in both boxes. I thought we started the game superbly well for 10 minutes. Keeper makes an incredible save. We're piling in corners, but then we make bad decisions, and then they can't get out of their half. We make a mistake, compounded by not dealing with the mistake, and we're 1-0 down. And you can just see the heads don't really, get back to it. We're dominating the ball. We don't really do enough in the first half. It's very early in the season to lambast the team at half time, but they've got to understand it just wasn't good enough. Players, we had to make a lot of changes. Guy was not fit, Ricky was not fit, but put on the shift. Reggie Young, I thought, was magnificent. I mean, he came to us before the game, he was so tired, and he ended up playing 98 minutes. I thought Manny, that was his first 90 plus minutes for a very long time, and besides one mistake, I thought was very good. So there were a couple of positives, but in both boxes, and let's be honest, we should have given a second goal away. Again, another individual error, and we could have been 2-0 down, which, considering the total dominance we've got in the middle part of the pitch, is ridiculous. We're lumping the ball long. It's difficult because we don't have Ricky, we don't have other options today, and the referee, that was his, he's been promoted, and I've told him, and I want to be fair, I thought he really struggled with the game. He wasn't helped at all, and he was very inconsistent. I was speaking to the fourth, and he was agreeing with me on things, and he's got to learn, he's got to accept there was a very poor performance, but that was no reason whatsoever we didn't win the game. Second half, we've missed another sitter. Sam Smart has to score. I mean, that's just ridiculous. I'm sorry, it's just not good enough. And then we make another individual error. Just basic balls over the top. We find ourselves 2-0 down, and then there could have been a third gift from us. When Manny makes almost his only mistake of the game, so arguably we could have conceded 4 again, and that's where you have to start. The defence again today was very poor, and we did have to put a few square pegs in round holes, but everybody's got to turn around this really quick situation, and in both boxes we were found wanting. I must say congratulations to Tonbridge. It was almost the perfect away performance. I mean, the first 10 minutes, I thought we were all over them and started so brightly and moving the ball well. Yeah, we made a mistake, they've capitalised, and then they start time wasting and doing everything that people babble on around, and dead right, no problem with it at all. I mean, the officials didn't deal with it. I said he was, I think he's really got to learn from that. Some of the decisions were quite frankly ludicrous, but there we go. It didn't affect the most important parts of the game, but at the end of the day, if you defend like that, and if you don't take the chances we had, and we had multiple chances from long throws, from playing football, people scuffing out, but they weren't taken with any real composure, and you defend the way you defend like that, you get nothing at this level, and it's not just a wake-up call. It's I'm sure people will jump on the bandwagon. Would I have taken 9 points from the first 5 games? I'm just disappointed. This group's better than that. The problem with a back 4, and the reason I've played, and so many teams play with a back 3, including again Tonbridge again today, and Welling on things, and teams that win promotions, and Boreham Woods and Dorkings and all these sides that win promotions, is that it gives you that extra defender. So if someone makes a mistake, you've got a chance to cover it. And if you're playing a back 4, you've got to be really on it defensively. And at the moment, certainly this weekend, we've not been. Robbo was struggling with an injury, but did all right. Pruti's come back in, made errors, and we got what we got. I mean, we changed it to a 3 early in the second half to try and get 2 strikers on, because obviously we've got to go and try and score goals, and we huffed and we puffed, and we gave everything. But you've got to congratulate Tonbridge. It was almost the perfect away performance, but they were gifts from us defensively, and we've got nowhere near enough, and it's so frustrating because great attendance today. The place looks good. we had a really good start, and now we've had a rubbish weekend. And we've got a lot of injuries, a lot of niggles, and people need to learn their lessons quick. And Ricky went on for 15 minutes. He's not fit. We thought we'd got away with the nasty injuries, but they're both struggling with it. And we've got to learn that if you're not good in both boxes, you're not going to win many football games.
And you welcome back Eden Pruti. He was available this afternoon. We didn't have Richard Chin. Was there an injury issue there?
Yeah, no, he's felt his hamstring, so he was ruled out. As I said, it was. We did a lot of work yesterday, obviously preparation for today, but I knew that when I came in, it was the most important thing was speaking to the players individually and seeing how they were feeling. And quite frankly, we didn't really have more than 11, 12 players that actually said they're fit to play. So, Chinny was ruled out, Ricky was basically ruled out, Guy was pretty much ruled out. He said, look, if you need me for 15 minutes, but he felt worse than he did on Saturday. So, look, it is what it is. It's not an excuse. The players that came in, Pruti's back in, Smarty was in, Manny came in. There were some successes, and clearly there were some that didn't go the way we wanted it to go. Injuries are part of the game. We've got players that aren't fit yet. Players should be very disappointed with that. It was the same shape. But we have missed some great chances. Robbo scores, it's a great save from their keeper. Mason's trying to get one over the line. Smarty misses a great one at the start of the first half at 1-0. He's got to score. We're trying, but the quality in both boxes at the moment is not there, and that's bizarre because we'd won 3 on the spin until Saturday, and now we've lost 2 on the spin, and I'm not interested in that type of season. We need to be better, and we've let the players know that, but they've got to get fit. We've got another double header coming up with the Saturday, Tuesday, so it's tough. I don't know if those injuries will recover in time, but it is what it is. Really, really disappointed and frustrating because you miss these chances, and even coming back to Saturday, I was so disappointed with Saturday, and but looking back at 2-1, and we'd started the game very badly. I mean, Mason, their keeper, makes a fantastic save from Mason. That goes in 2-2, and it changes the game. And I'm afraid you don't get many chances. And let's face it, they've only had probably 4 or 5 chances the whole game, and 4 of those have come from us. Total gifts, abysmal defending. And if you defend like that, you're in trouble. So certainly lessons being learned, and it's, what are we, 2.5, 3 weeks into the season, and wow, we're going the full. We're giving the fans a full season here in 3 weeks. Win some, lose some, defensively strong, defensively weak, looking really tight in some games and looking completely awful in others. Wow, we're certainly racking through it. And, today we wanted to start really, really sharp. And we did, but then an individual error and you're a goal down. So certainly a lot to digest and a lot to think about how we move on.
And from the clean sheets that we were keeping at the start of the season, how do you go about tightening the defence up now?
Well, I mean, as I said, I think we should have conceded 4 today. I mean, we made 4 howling errors and they should have scored 4 goals. So that could be both games 4 goals. I looked at all the stats on the Welling game. They've had 5 attempts in the whole game and scored 4. Well, that's called being ruthless, and we're not. We've had our chances in this game. But if you give gifts away, I mean, certainly this back 4 situation is something that will be looked at. I know we'll play a 3 and a 5 at some times this season. There's no doubt about it. We've already worked on that. Obviously, we've got hundreds of games and it's a very popular system. But at the end of the day, individual errors not going to make any difference. If you make those individual errors that we made today, whether you've got a back 3 or a back 4, the advantage with if you've got 3, potentially you've got an extra defender to help out. But the defending just wasn't good enough. They're just absolute gifts today, and I'm disappointed because the place was absolutely buzzing today as well after a poor performance Saturday, and we started really, really brightly, and we've given up all that momentum now, and the season certainly started. So we've got to work really hard, think really hard. People have got to perform. What people did 10 days ago doesn't count anymore. What people did last season certainly doesn't count. They've got to be on it because we want to have a successful season, and this weekend has been, I've got to apologise, it was shocking, both ends, but individual errors and not taking your chances is not a recipe for winning games.
And we welcome St Albans here on Saturday. What do you want to see from the players in that game?
St Albans is a funny one because I think they're a really good side, and they've got some real flair passing football players. They're in a bad run, but they have patches where they're really good, and we just need to be better. I mean, we are Jekyll and Hyde. I mean, if we turn up like we did the first certainly the first 2 home games, let's be honest, at Chippenham, those that were there, the first 30 minutes we were pretty all at sea, up the hill. So, got to think about that carefully. You don't know what you're going to get from us at the moment. We've got some good players. We're set up right. You know, we're not being done tactically. You can see that clearly. They're individual errors, and we're missing chances. You know, whether the keeper's saving or we're not ruthless enough. Let's see who's fit first, quite frankly. A lot of it's going to dictate. And we didn't make the team selection today till way past 1 o'clock because we were having to see who could actually get on the pitch. So, recovery, prepare for, we know St Albans really good passing side. Their form has not started well, but look at what we've done in the last 2 games. As I said, we should have conceded 4 both games. So, we've got to really focus. Individuals have got to get themselves together and realise that is not good enough this weekend. And, yep, we've started okay. In hindsight, you look back and say 9 points. I think we're 10th or something. I think we're 3 points off the top part of it. I think even Tonbridge are probably the only unbeaten side left now, aren't they? Because Boreham Wood lost today. So it is really, really early, and don't want to overreact, but this has been an awful weekend and so disappointing because we did start well and we were all enjoying it and we were all working really hard, but really poor weekend and we need to recover from it quickly.
Thanks, Spencer, and good luck for Saturday.
Thanks a lot, Dom.